me, keep a 20 on me, case emergency. Ain't no cap in my rap. Really, I know it's the trap. More profit mean extra. Emerald white off full of pressure. That cereal milk smoking right. But that Obama rant some special. Kansas City, I'm a chief. Shout out to K5 on this one. Country thinking I was hustling. I don't way you had it on me. Booming like OJ the Juice. Till a nigga told on me. From now on it's relentless. Ain't no love, we ain't friendly. If she want me on him. No the law, she get the business. No the law, still the motto. Empire.
Welcome in. This is Birds of a Feather Podcast with your boy Q City.
Your boy Taj Bravado.
And this is our Hawks podcast for the week. Check it out. This is play-in week, right? So, your Atlanta Hawks have officially finished 10th. 10th seed in the East. And we are locked into the play-in. We are facing major odds as we try to continue to climb to even get into the playoffs. I think this is a microcosm, really, of the season that we've had as a total. But, bro, just tell me how you kind of saw the end of this season play out, and then we'll get into where we headed in the play.
For y'all that cannot see me, 2 thumbs down. I mean, even if they make it in, I'm still gonna be disappointed because they're just gonna get wiped by the 1 or 2 seeds. So
I think that's the hardest part about it is that and you know that was kind of our conversation a couple weeks ago. Is like, what good is a 10 seed? You know what I'm saying? Like, where are we going long term if this is what we're doing overall? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Sad note, since Trey's been back. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Since Trey been back, what?
No, since Trey's been back, we've been 0-3. We've been 0-3 this year since Trey got back. And that is a terrible, harbinger for what this team is supposed to look like. I am glad he came back, right? So that's real helpful to the extent that, okay, he wants to be part of the team. He wants to play. If you just listen to Trey or you watch him at any sort of time, the dude loves basketball, right? The dude wants to play. The dude wants to be out there. He wants to help the team. So, that's not overly surprising that he came back this late in the season. I just think,
right.
What were we, like a game over 500 with him out? And he's been out for almost 30 games, if I'm not mistaken. That's a long time. That's a long time. That's a long time
2 months?
Try to drop. Yeah. 2 months in the meat of the season. That's a long time to really try to drop someone in and just be like, hey, let's make it work again, especially toward the end of the season. That game versus Indiana was it was embarrassing. It was embarrassing to watch. And yes, Indiana's had our number all season. So if you are a Hawks fan and you've been watching, the season, you know that Indiana has their style of play, their guard play, just who they are as a team. They have whooped our ass all season. Pardon my French. They've been spanking us all season. But this last game, this last game was just disrespectful. It was really disappointing with how we went out there and what we put on film, what we put on tape. 157 points. You know what I'm saying? Lost by 35, I think it was. That's just in a regulation game. That's and it's not the only time they scored 150 plus on us this season. That's a terrible match. And that used to be one of the teams that Trey owned. You know what I'm saying? I think at one point in his career, he was 9-0 or 10-0 versus the Pacers. So
how the times have changed.
Yeah, Halliburton's good. I'm not gonna take that away from him. You know what I'm saying? He's really an engine that makes that team go. But just overall, the roster, I wouldn't say it's constructed bad. I just don't think that it highlights the talents of the people that you really want highlighted in the style of play that you want to play. Right.
Yeah.
So you look at potential matchups, right? So the only playoff seed that we could possibly get is the 8 seed, right? So gotta handle business first. We go to Chicago. That's gonna be a tough matchup for us because we're 1-2 this season versus Chicago, right?
Yeah.
The one win that we had was without Trey later in the season. If I'm not mistaken, Levine and DeMar was out that game. So this is a full throw Bulls team. That's you play Wednesday. If you win, you get to play Friday. Overall, I think the Bulls are. I don't think they're a great team, right? I don't think they're a great team, but I do think, as presently constructed, they are more
Really
cohesive than
nice.
us. Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's a terrible feeling to have about a team that's, if I'm not mistaken, like 3 games under 500. We're like
Yeah, they
nine
had
games under
injury
500.
issues and all of that. Like they got just like when they healthy, they good. You know, you got the Levines, you got the DeRozan. Like those two alone is that's enough to cause a lot of issues. Then you got a Nikola Vucevic. Obviously Lonzo ain't played, but he would be another problem. But he ain't played with like 2-3 years now at this point.
It's almost going on 2 years with the knee situation. But yeah, um, I think earlier in the year when we had discussed it, we were talking about the Bulls being a contender to like blow up. You know what I'm saying? But if we're saying they're going to blow it up and they are markedly better than us, then where does that leave our team? Where does that leave our future outlook? Where does like get the don't look at the straw on somebody else's eye, get the rafter out of yours type situation. You know what I'm saying?
It might be time to shake some shit up for real. Shake the room for real because we in a weird spot.
Now I will say, um, if we're just looking, if we're just looking piece for piece, I would not be surprised by us beating the Bulls. Trey's been really good in playing games. Uh, the Hawks in general have been good in playing games, especially considering we've been in 3 of them for the past years. Um,
Yeah.
but we've been pretty good in the play-in, so I would not be shocked to see a win versus the Bulls. But the 10 seed itself is peculiar and very hard to get into the playoffs because like you got to win two do or dies on the road, right? Like you don't get
Yeah.
any home help, home cooking, or anything like that. Obviously, in the play-in, that coveted seed is the 7 because you get a home game, you get 2 home games. You know what I'm saying? With 2 chances to get in. If you lose to the 8, then then you're an 8 seed with the winner versus the 9-10 game, and you get that at home too. You're the 8 seed. You get one on the road. If you lose, then you get a home game. 9 seed, you get a home, then a road. But that 10 seed, both these games are do or die, and they're both on the road. So like, there's a lot of odds stacked against you there.
I mean, it's kind of like real life. Home cooking ain't for losers.
I mean, true. That's 100% of it. Um, when I look down the roster, especially considering some of the injuries that we have, Vucic is going to be a problem in this game, right? So Hunter's back into the lineup. Freaking AJ got some burn, but I think that's just like end of the season, getting those bench players out there. It seems like Garrison Matthews will probably be part of the shortened rotation. Bruno is probably going to be part of the shortened rotation with Big O out. You want Clint healthy. You know what I'm saying? So you rested him kind of these last 2 games of the season, especially once you were locked into the 12, locked into the 10. Um,
Imagine
I
Russell
think
Cam in the
overall,
10. That's crazy.
well, I mean, it's one of those things like, what do
I
you,
get it. I get it,
yeah,
but still.
what are you gonna play?
Like,
What are
get
you gonna
your
play
ass up.
for?
Get your ass up?
Yeah, but
We need
then
all the
like
cohesion possible.
I honestly believe how how they coached is that they believe that they could take Chicago, which I don't think is a wild statement, and that they're gearing up to face either Miami or the 76ers, right? Yeah, clap it, clap it. I think that's the Heat Philly game. I think is going to be that's a crazy matchup, bro. Is that Heat Philly game? Because the loser of that, the loser of that gets to play the winner of Atlanta Chicago. But like both those teams, kind of, I can't imagine beating Philly with the chance to go into the playoffs with Embiid and Maxey. That's and then the Heat are
That's
always a
tough.
tough matchup for us. Yeah, the Heat are always a tough matchup for us.
But he a tough matchup for anybody. Like, if they sneak in, ain't no one about to just look at him and be like, "Oh, that's easy work."
Yeah, so I was actually thinking about it. If they win, they get the 7th seed and they face not Milwaukee. If they face the Knicks in the first round,
And
that's gonna be a hard ass matchup.
Speaking of Milwaukee, can we talk about how in the world they started off with 30 something and 13, and they didn't even hit 50 wins?
I mean, bro, that's that midseason coaching change, bro. Like
Bro,
Doc is not a good coach. Like, I got
he's
Doc
not.
slander for days, bro. I got
He's
Doc
not.
slander for days. Like that Doc is not a good
Because
coach,
like, cause like that's insane.
but I've
I'm looking
never.
through Twitter, and I'm like, wait a minute, they didn't have 50 wins. What?
I
And
think
I
it's like
looked and they
47. See, it was 47 or 48. It's disgusting work. It's disgusting
they
work.
were they were 49 and 33. They were 1 win short. And they in their last 10, they 3-7. I mean, obviously Giannis got hurt, but he should be back for the playoffs. But still,
You hope he's back for the playoffs, bro. Like non-contact injuries are always scary. Always
yeah. But
scary. You know what I'm saying?
it's a
Running down
calf
the
strain
court.
though. But hopefully, it's not anything like a KD situation.
Now I'm about to say KD's was a calf strain, bro. KD's was a calf strain. And I think everybody's scared about that, bro. Is that like, like Burrow, um, Aaron Rodgers, KD, anytime because the calf is it's a very strong indicator of something going down with the Achilles. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Um, yeah, you hope he's back. Um, not to get too personal, but like you look at what Dame is going through. You know what I'm saying? Like he's getting divorced. The stuff came out about him saying like, bro, like I'm lonely up here. Like I don't have no family. I don't see my kids. Like as someone who's traveled for work, I think the longest I've been out of the house is like 2 weeks. And like, bro, I'm not gonna lie to you. That second week, I was not a good person at work. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like my mind wasn't at work. There's only so many phone calls you could do. You miss your kids. You know what I'm saying? You miss your kids, you miss your wife, you miss your life. And like, you got the personal turmoil of transitioning to being co-parents. But then you're also not co-parenting because you don't see your kids. You're, half the country away. To think that's not going to
more than
affect somebody,
yeah.
yeah, to think that's not going to affect somebody's, performance at work is crazy. I don't care how much you try to distract yourself with YouTube videos and boxing and, you can only work out so much. You know what I'm saying? You can only You can only distract yourself so much, bro.
But
Like
whenever you
it's
get back into them four walls, reality sets in.
yeah, and that's tough. And I think that had a lot to and one of his quotes was about the fact that like it's kind of hard to go through the day to day of the season when like the only thing he came out here for was the ability to win a chip, right? So like I expect playoff Dame locked in, but they pulled a really tough draw, and it's not just because the Pacers thumped us. That's I'm not just saying that, you know what I'm saying. But I will say they have not played them well this season. They have not played them well this season. If I'm not mistaken, I think they've lost all 4 games. You had the whole ball situation. Indiana's pace of play, like, bro, Indiana's pace of play, Indiana's shot making ability, Halliburton
Yeah, that pace of
really being
play
a
is going to
point.
be an issue for Giannis if they allow him to play. Because you don't want to play a team that's doing all that running and you coming off a strained calf.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough. Um, who you got in the Miami Philly game?
I'm gonna go Philly. It's Joel
I
Beck, and Maxi's the button star. Yeah, I like Philly.
I like Oubre as well as kind of as their third option. I agree with you. I agree with you there. And so like that's Philly versus New York. I think Philly takes New York. To be honest with you, I like
Oh
Jalen
yeah,
Brunson.
Embiid,
Um,
because didn't Embiid put up like 70 on them?
it was 60. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was crazy work. Like I think that Fitch and Julius Randle's out as well. Well, I mean, playoff Julius Randle don't do a damn thing anyway. But but um, I just don't think that New York has the bodies to throw at Embiid. You know what I'm saying? And then like if you look at Maxi versus Brunson, I'm trying to think of a point of attack defensive guard that New York has. The trade for OG was really good, so they might put him on Maxi as primary ball handler to kind of slow him down, or Dante. But Dante gonna get cooked. To be honest with you, Josh Hart's really good defensively. They got enough guards to throw at Maxi. They got enough wings to throw at Kelly Oubre, Tobias.
But they ain't got
I think
nobody to
Tobias
throw
might
at
get off.
Embiid.
They really ain't
Tobias,
got nobody to
Tobias is
throw
going
at
to be the key. Tobias is going to be the guy that has to give you buckets.
He's
Embiid
got
gonna
to
do his
average like
thing.
16. He's got to average
Maxi
like
gonna do
16
his
in a
thing, but
series.
Tobias is the guy that got to show up
Yeah,
if they want
he's
to win
he's
this
got to
series.
give
He
you.
has to show up.
He's got
I
to
mean,
give
but
you like
obviously they got to get past Miami. We got to get we still got to get them their due respect because that is a hard nosed team.
yeah, and you got playoff Jimmy, which is why I think that Miami second game versus either Chicago or us, and like y'all, I'm a Hawks fan. Y'all know I'm a Hawks fan. I preach. We doing the Dame podcast, bro. I don't see us going down to Miami and beat Miami in a do or die situation with them coming off a loss. I don't. Even if we beat Chicago, I do not. I do not see that happening.
I don't either. Just being real with just being real though. Like
I
it's
think we're 1-3 this season versus Miami. That's like, and that's another thing, bro. Against the three potential playoff playing opponents, we're combined 3, 6, 8, 3-8, bro. 3-8 against the combined playing opponents,
and
and
that's
two of
not really the
one of
confidence
those
that you want
wins.
going into those. Like
Yeah, one of those wins versus Philly was without Embiid. One of those wins versus Chicago was without um, Levine and DeRozan. Miami, it was just a straight up win early in the season, right? So
yeah,
you got 3 wins there, but you got 8 losses.
yeah, they ain't
No
doing too
part of
much.
this is Yeah, no part of this is leading me to believe that we're gonna run off 2 straight wins against really, really tough opponents. I pray, I pray that we get Miami because I definitely don't see us beating Philly. Miami, I see an
Yeah.
outside chance. Like we're division opponents. We can kind of, their style. Their pace of play isn't crazy fast. Playoff Jimmy could go off, but like Hunter has showed that he can be a defensive stalwart there, make him earn it, make it work for it. Trey, um, with having that secondary ball handler and Dejounte, has shown he can break Miami's press a bit. Like you have to me, you have a chance with Miami. You know what I'm saying? You got a chance with Miami.
I
Ain't
mean, the
nobody.
playoffs is all a chance. Or playing, it's all a chance. But
No, Clint is barbecue chicken if we face
oh
Embiid.
yeah,
Do you understand me? Like that
yeah.
is he getting passed around like a drunk girl at a frat party, bro. Like it's not gonna be good for you. It's not gonna be
Women
good
at a
for you.
party,
Yeah, like it's not gonna be
and
good
that
for
is how
you.
you
Now,
save. That is how y'all save money on your electricity, folks.
no, hey, bruh. So like, I'm gonna take y'all behind the scenes real quick. So one of our earlier episodes, right? I was recording in the house and kept hearing the fire alarm in the background, right? And I got so many comments from people be like, this ruins the video. I can't even enjoy your TikToks. I can't even enjoy the video because fire alarm in the background. I said, all right, bet. So I changed the batteries. I did change the batteries, right? But I was like, I'm gonna come down to the office. Bro, the lights down here are on a timer. So that's why if y'all watching on video, you randomly see me do the matrix back here. It's because I'm trying to keep the lights on because they on a motion sensor. So
Yeah, that's how you gotta save your money though.
hey, look, man, that's where y'all get that darkness, everybody, darkness.
Darkness, you hear me?
But in all true honesty, I think the one that we hadn't talked about, which is interesting to me, Orlando had an outside chance at the 2 seed, end up dropping all the way to the 5. You got Cleveland. I think that's gonna be a fun series, bro. And it might be Donovan Mitchell's last series in Cleveland, but I think it's gonna be a fun series.
You know, Paolo, my guy. So
Hey, playoff Palo, I want to see this. I want to see
yeah.
this, man.
So
Usually young teams.
if the Hawks ain't in, if the Hawks ain't in it, I'm a Magic fan.
Hey, man, look, I'm gonna watch playoff basketball regardless. You know what I'm saying? And I think the NBA doesn't do a bunch of things correct. I actually think that they have a lot of room for opportunity and growth with the marketing of the game, especially during the regular season. But the one thing they get right is the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Everybody watches
Minus
the
the play-in.
playoffs.
I'm not a fan of the play-in, but
Now, see, you and Uncle on TikTok said the same shit, bro. I like the plan. I like it.
it just kind
It
of
keeps.
like that's what I like about the NFL. Like them final standings are final. Ain't no okay. Well, you hung around so you get to play someone for your spot. Nah. If you on the outside looking in, you on the outside looking in.
But I mean, all they're doing is just creating urgency. Like we have multiple
I mean, I get
playoff
it.
spots.
It's more money. It's another way for you to squeeze out more money out of people, out of the TV, out of the fans, all this. I get it. It's a money play. So from a business
But
standpoint, I completely understand. But from my fan perspective, I don't like it.
but I mean, like all they're doing is just like recreating the urgency of Week 18. We have multiple playoff seeds decided
Yeah,
in the NFL in Week 18.
you already got a week 18. What you need to recreate it for?
I don't know. I think that I don't know. I like it. I like it
It
just
it, it,
because.
it, it it just takes away the final, like, just like, wait, week 18, that's the final week. Oh nah, you just be close, we'll give you another chance.
Yeah, I mean, so in the West, I feel like it's a great idea this season. In the West, right? In the East, it looks terrible this year. But in the East, I think it was 2 years ago. Like the Hawks being a playing team was like it was like, dang, bro, like they suffered injuries late and all this and that. Like Philly being a playing team this year. Do I think Chicago and Atlanta have legitimate chances to get into the playoffs and make a run? No. Right? Do I think that LA, Golden State, or the Kings could? Absolutely. Right? So, like, I think it works in the West this year. Now, one thing I will say, one thing
Okay.
that I've been a huge proponent of is that, and this is getting into our conspiracy theory real quick, and I'm going to touch on the WNBA. Not even conspiracy theory. When you look back, the whole point of the conferences, right, was because like teams were broke and they couldn't like travel super far, right? And so that is the whole point of the conferences is to keep a certain level of play together, to keep everybody separated, and to keep travel like down, right? With the NBA
Mhm.
going to go ahead and expand to Seattle and Vegas, you're going to end up moving um, two teams to the east. It'll probably be Memphis and New Orleans. Um, Either way, right? You're going to have East and West conferences, probably 32 teams. 16 are going to make the playoffs. I am
Yeah.
totally down for reseeding in the playoffs. I am totally down for reseeding. So like, get rid of the play-in, go back to 18. No, get rid of the
I mean,
play-in, and then it's the
Reese,
top 16 teams.
oh, okay, you don't think? I mean, no, I still think they should keep it East versus West. Like,
So hear
I
me
still
out.
think they should keep it.
Hear me out. Who is a better who is a better playoff draw right now? Miami or the Golden State Warriors?
I'm gonna still say Golden. I mean, the better. Like, what you mean? The team you don't want to face?
Just a better playoff draw. Just somebody you would look at and say that is the team I would rather see in the playoffs.
I'd rather see the Heat I'd rather see the Heat than Golden State.
I think most people would rather see Golden State in.
Hold on. Like, what are you asking? Like, are you asking who you rather play in the playoffs or who would you rather see in the playoffs?
Who would you rather see in the playoffs based
Oh,
upon strictly
Golden
this
State.
season? Golden State, right? They
No,
have more
yeah. I
wins.
thought you were
They're
saying
they're
who you asking who would you like rather like play in the playoffs? Oh my god.
no. And that's another thing. Most people don't want to see Golden State. So if you
No,
look
you
at
want to see
it,
Curry?
you would have the top 10 seeds in the West, then the top 6 seeds in the East, right? And then you would just schedule it based off you would just seed it based off record. Now, the team that would lose out on this year would be Philly, right? Philly would miss out on it this year because they don't have as many wins. No, Philly has more wins, so Golden State I think would still miss out this year. Actually, if you look at overall standings, I think Golden State would still miss out this year. But you get the best 16 teams in. So then Boston would play, I think Boston would play Philly in the first round. You would have the Nuggets play Sacramento in the first round, or not the Nuggets. You would have the Timberwolves play Sacramento in the first round, right? Then you have the Nuggets and Lakers. Uh, I think you'd have a minute before you get another East team. The second seed in the East, I think, would end up being a 5 seed. Will play a 5-12 game. But I feel like that gives you a true idea of like who the best teams are, who the champions could be. I think it devalues winning your division, right? It devalues winning your division, and it may
I mean,
make
winning your
the
division
finals a
don't
bit more
really
regional.
matter. I don't feel like winning your division really matter. Okay, they gonna
Well, it
pick
gives
you
you a
up
top
this
three
year
seed.
anyway.
It gives you a top 3 seed in your conference.
I guess.
I think
I,
that
I, I don't value the seeding the same way in basketball as I would football because, like, in the series, both teams get home games. So, like,
it's true. It's true. I just think you get. My only thing is, it could make the finals a bit more regional, and that could kind of be a blow, right? So like if they end up on different sides of the bracket and the finals is Boston, Milwaukee, that's going to be tough, right? If they end up on different sides of the bracket and the finals is LA, Denver, that could be kind of tough.
What if it was LA?
Also, right? Like that could be kind of
That'd be
tough.
crazy.
You take away a big part of the country. So I get that part of it, but I think that will go a long way into establishing who a true champ is. Now, wrapping up, we are doing this post WNBA draft. Won't take too much time.
Shout out Caitlin.
Shout out Caitlin. She went number 1 overall. We're trying to keep, we got some feedback. We listen to y'all. We keeping the podcast, at a good timing. So I ain't gonna go too long. I love the explosion of the women game, bro. Like, but all y'all know, I got 2 daughters. I love sports. I love basketball. I love them being involved in it. I feel like once you see someone do it, right? See someone that looks like you do it, that kind of puts that dream, puts that plan in you. And so I've always been like super involved with them being part of the, like looking at WNBA and stuff. And like the explosion of the popularity of the women's game it's something beautiful to watch, right? I've been talking about it since last year. I think they should divorce themselves from the NBA. I think that will go a long way into increasing their popularity, play in smaller venues, change their schedule. I think that because like think about it, bro.
Huh?
What were you saying?
No, I was saying, but like, what you mean, like divorce himself? Like, why would it be beneficial?
So right now the WNBA is a subsidiary of the NBA, but right or wrong, and I think a lot of people don't recognize this, it allows the NBA to depress their wages, right? So if you look at somebody like,
okay,
hear me out. If you look at somebody like Sabrina Ionescu, right? And I was saying this 2 years ago. How many women have shoe deals? She's the first woman with a shoe deal. She's the first woman with a real deal, like branding behind it, pushed out shoe deal. And she is doing amazing on women's and men's side, right? Especially with the young kids. Okay. If you divorce yourself from the NBA, you then have the ability to, one, make business decisions that actually benefit your sport and your sport only. You don't have to align yourself with the same sponsors that the NBA does. You can mess with the schedule, because I think that's a big part of the WNBA not maximizing their potential is the schedule. You can expand or decrease based upon what your actual business model is needed, right? And then most importantly, you can compensatory pay your players and set a pay structure that follows a certain players association that is beneficial to you and you specifically, right? Because right now the NBA PA and the WNBA PA are combined. Divorce yourself from the NBA. Be your own product, right? Negotiate your own TV deal. Play in smaller venues so that you're a better TV product.
Okay.
These are things I think go a long way in
the thing with the TV deal is like you ain't gonna get it if no one's watching. People don't watch it. That's why the TV deal is low. They get paid based off of what they bring in for the TV, the revenue share. That's just the numbers. I don't think divorcing you from the NBA is gonna improve that any. You just gotta improve the product on the court. Now, so I do think this new couple players can improve that. Because, Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, they're bigger names, even though Angel Reese has some things to work on with her game, then she's probably going to struggle. But you're bringing in, because like the college game was much more popular than the actual professional game. I can name more college players than I can name pro players.
That's part of the reason I'm like, you need to not be under the NBA umbrella.
But I don't think that's the NBA thing. I think that's just the watchability thing. I just enjoy watching that more than the actual professional product. More people watch that than they watch that. Because the thing is, this year, even when you compare men's college to women's college, more people are watching the college basketball than the boys.
I feel like the stars coming in is helping. The stars coming in is going to help. I 100% agree with that.
The star power.
This is why you need to capitalize on it.
But I don't think separating from the NBA is going to give you the desired result. You don't have to. You just have to improve the on court product. That's it. And I think when you bring in
Not
people,
necessarily. Most money that comes into the league, into any league, doesn't come from the gate. It comes from the
it comes
TV
from the
deal.
TV deals. Yeah, and no one's watching
So right now,
because the
no,
quality
right
on
now
the
you're
court is
saying
not
it's a bad TV
watchable.
product, right? It's a bad TV
Yeah,
product. So let
because
me ask you, what makes the WNBA to you specifically? What makes the WNBA to you a bad TV product?
it's just not entertaining to watch.
Okay, so do you like watching half empty arenas or packed arenas?
I don't give a damn about the arena. I don't care about the game.
Well, I'm saying that goes in the crowd atmosphere, right?
I,
That's
me
part of
personally,
that's
I
part of
don't.
making a TV product.
You asking me though? Me personally, I don't give a damn about what the crowd got going on. I'm watching the game.
Okay. So
If the game is good,
99% of
I'm
people who aren't sociopaths
99%.
care about
99%. No, most if you actually like the sport that you're watching, you don't give a damn about the crowd for real. You're not
so
watching
they
like
can
damn, ain't no one in the crowd.
so crowd environment is part of it. Every TV study analytic on sports set talks about that. I'm not doing this with you, Josh. Anyway, so if you play in a smaller venue, right, that makes for one a better TV product. That's part of it. Is that you give the impression of a packed venue, right? That
The
would
thing
lower
is,
your operating
okay,
cost. That would also lower your operating cost,
I get what
and
you're
it
saying,
would
but at the
allow
end of the
better
day,
ownership.
no one's watching.
It would allow for better ownership. How many WNBA teams are owned by NBA governors?
Nobody is watching. Why are they not
People are
watching? You
going
got
to
to address.
start watching.
You have to address the why to why they're not watching. It's not, why they ain't watching. They ain't got nothing to do with the viewership because they ain't going to the games anyway.
Now, people are going to start watching, bro. There's a
They
this
yeah.
is a
I do anticipate an uptick, but they still got a ways to go. But the reason they pay that way is because there's nobody watching, and separating from the NBA is not going to give you that. Maybe eventually give you that, but separating from the NBA is not the forefront of your problems. That's not should not be the high on the priority list.
I think that
The
that's going to
highest
go a
thing should
long
be
way.
it
I think
could,
that'll
but
go a
that should not
long
be
way
that
into
should not be
making
your
you
highest
develop your
priority.
brand and be your own product. You be your own
That
product.
But the thing is, it's the system. It's not, the thing is, it's never going to be its own product. Women's
It
college
will.
basketball is never going to be. No, it's not because it goes in tandem.
No, and that's
It's
another thing. That's what I talk about with changing the schedule. I don't think that the women's schedule should mirror
even
the
if you
men's schedule in college.
even if you change the schedule, what's it called? What is the league called? The W what?
Yeah, change that.
What's it called though? The W what?
Nah, change that. You ain't got to
W
call it Blue
what?
Magic.
The W
Hey,
what?
what do you say? What do you say? I would respectfully ask that you change the name. Change the name.
It is the, what are you gonna change this to? Because
WBO.
what? Because the thing is, these girls can go overseas and make more money. So what are you gonna
Which
say?
right now, that is the issue. That is the issue. The fact that you can go overseas and make more money, and the fact that you have to stop in the middle of the season to play the Olympics when necessary, right? Which I still think is a huge honor, and a lot of people fall into it. I wouldn't take it away from summer because your only main competition is basketball. I would actually move the women's college game, right? Because I don't think that should mirror the men's college game to allow them a better time frame to enter the league. Think about it. Caitlin Clark just got done playing the national championship a week ago. She just got
Yeah,
drafted. When do you think the WNBA season starts?
I don't know.
In 30 days, bro.
Yeah. I mean,
When the men's side just got done in March. When's the NBA draft?
their season's longer.
When is the NBA draft?
Like probably like
It
a
is
week.
only long. It's
Like
only
so
longer. It's only on longer by like
it's
7 games, bro.
okay, but it's 2 weeks after. Like it's like a week or two after the end of the after the finals are over.
In the middle of June. When does their season start?
So what?
When does the NBA season start?
Like what? September, October, November, something like that.
Right around
October.
Halloween. You got almost a 6-month stretch. Training, preparation. What happens to somebody that, like, God forbid, you know what I'm saying, had Caitlin Clark or Angel Reese or anybody from South Carolina got injured in the national championship?
But it's not a
They would miss
6-month
the whole
stretch because
first
they go, because the thing is they go straight in the summer league. And then they get drafted like a week later in the summer league.
They don't go in the summer league until June, July. So even then, if they finish in March, if they finish in March, till July, how long?
That's not their fault that the NBA season goes longer.
I do think they need to extend the WNBA season. That's another thing. I think
no one's watching it. No one's watching it. What's the point of extending something if you don't have numbers to support it? But
people will.
You could say that, but you could say they will, but they
gotta lower your operating costs. How do you lower your operating costs? You negotiate your own TV deals, and you play in smaller venues. These things all work together. This is a solid business plan.
They still not watching.
People, look, Field of Dreams. You build it, they'll come. All right, we've gone a little long. We're gonna go ahead and get out of here on this one. So this has been your boy Q City.
This is boy talk. Hey, look, I love women's sports, but I'm just being realistic. But yeah,
it's got to sprinkle in the misogyny on the way out. You got to get a quick disclaimer. You know what I'm saying? Where his mentions be blown up. Oh, you part of the He-Man Woman Haters Club. All right, yo, we out.
El Chapo, looking like I hit the lotto. I want a hottie like mulatto. I'm on here and she on Moscato. I'm in them good till tomorrow. I'm a robber for the Neros. Your little loss, I'ma put you on payroll. You smell that aroma? Design the air, it's a party, yeah. Papa Corona, she moving the body, she working them heels. Gotta go get it mentality. Grocery bag full of celery. Only believe half what you telling me. Keep a 20 on me, case emergency. I wake up early every morning. Thank the Lord and get the bag. Hustle hard, get the cash. Stack first, then I'm showing my ass. Gotta go get it mentality. Grocery bag full of celery. Only believe half what you telling me. Keep a 20 on me, case emergency.
My babies, that's who I grind for. That's who I do it for. Like the Navy, that's who I'm toting that iron for. Keep one in the head like a thought, nigga. Yeah, I fuck with Ty, he a boss, nigga. Foot on their neck, I exhaust, nigga. Niggas cross me, so I cross, nigga. No stripper was lit last night. 500, what it cost, nigga. Shit was really legit last night. Had them hoes at the house, nigga. Instagram, Snapchat, Triller. What they say about Jay, he a go-getter. Used to have them fat sacks in the grove, nigga. Late nights, early morning, my dough, nigga.
You smell that aroma? Design the air, it's a party, yeah. Papa Corona, she moving the body, she working them heels. Gotta go get it mentality. Grocery bag full of celery. Only believe half what you telling me. Keep a 20